Place around back. Now, if you look up on this wall right here, there's a window up there.
Yeah, look
there
over
was
there.
Confederate sharpshooters that were shooting at the Confederate soldiers up the street here. See all those white little pack marks on the building? Well, they were bullet holes that were just patched up with mortar instead of tearing the brick out, and that was Union soldiers, snipers, up the street, probably from the Jenny Wade house, trying to shoot the Confederate sharpshooters that were in that window. Now, rifles at that time, they were pretty accurate, 300 yards, you could reach out that far. Now, the Jenny Wade house, I don't know if these ladies are here, the Jenny Wade house wasn't sitting where it sits today. Okay, and that was her sister's house. If y'all knew that. Her sister had a baby that week or something. She was up there helping when the battle started. She was cooking bread for Union soldiers. Now they call it the Jenny Wade house because she was killed there, but it wasn't her house. It was her sister's house. Straight bullet, they believe, was from one of the Confederate sharpshooters up here. Seeing Union activity. Now the house would have sat 1863 in, which was built not in 1863. It had a hotel right there. Now that Jenny Wade house sat about halfway into the hotel and up on the street. It was moved to where it is today so that they could build the hotel. Me personally, I think they should have left the house where it was and built a hotel up on the hill. So getting back here to the Farnsworth house, I've actually done their tour. They have one of their tours that they take you up into the attic and they tell some stories about the house. Part of it's what I just told you. Now, my daughter is going to take you guys out to the Sacramento Bridge investigation. She was with me. This was like 2 or 3 years ago. And we were with other folks. It was late October or into November, and it was cold. I was wearing a Union great coat. It's the winter kind of coat that they wear, big cape on it and all. I had this hat on, just blue jeans. And I was sitting at the end. They have some benches up there, and I'm going to call it a spiral staircase made out of wood. I call them pie-shaped steps. Very creaky when you go up, and there's a door. The guy had shut the door, and it has like a latch that lifts up, one of the old style latches, and he made sure that was shut, and he was telling his story. And one of the stories, too, is also of a boy named Charlie. Charlie was killed right out here in the street. He was run over by a, well, we call them tractor trailers now. Back in the day, it would have been a wagon. Teamster is the name Teamster came from the guys who drove the big, like Conestoga type wagons that would have hauled food around or clothes or whatever. That was their truckers back then. So the little boy was killed right out here in the street. Now, up in the attic there, they leave some toys and balls like that. Just some kids' toys. I'm going to say there's probably 30 or 40 of them that's been left up there over the years. Some of them have been moved, come in the next day, and they believe it's that little boy playing. Now, getting back to our experience, I'm sitting on the end of one of the benches by the door. It's like 5, 6 feet away from me. The guy's telling the story, and the latch lifts up on the door, and the door just open real slow and creaky. And the folks that were sitting there were like, this dude's part of this story gig or something. And I'm like, now I'm telling you, I didn't do that. And there's no way, because the old steps are all creaky. You know, so when you walk on it, it creaks and all that. There's 25 or 30 of us going up there. There's no way that one person was stuck up there in their bedroom slippers and hurt, So that's one of the experiences that I've also had here at the Farnsworth house. And then part of one of their tours is they take you down into the cellar too, as part of their activity in there. And my daughter had her hair kind of cool, and they think, and part of the story of that little boy is he likes to play with ladies' hair. And my daughter had longer hair when we were here. She just had some kind of fuller hair, so it's kind of neat. One of the little things there for paranormal activity that we know is in that house. It's a good tour if you've never been. You should go. Just or witness tree. Well, there's a plaque that man's standing on right now, and it's fine to stand on. Who would have came here in November in 1863? Famous person.
Lincoln.
Abe Lincoln. Abe Lincoln put his hand on this exact tree. Now, 150 years ago, this tree would have been, I'm going to say about this big, right in here.
Half that size.
At least half to 5/8 it would have been here. So the witness wood, witness tree terminology, he actually put his hand and said this sycamore here, and there's a couple other ones that were on the street here, that they bared witness to the terrible and horrific event that happened over 3 days here in Gettysburg. So that's where witness wood comes from. Now, Mr. G's Ice Cream Parlor is actually the Weinbrenner house. Now, remember the creek was called Weinbrenner Run. And over at the Weinbrenner house, we're going to go over that way, but we're going to kind of go up on Culp's Hill and come back down. But the town well is over there. If you kind of look through the trees, you'll see like 2 4x4 posts over on the other side of the picket fence by themselves. And that's where the town well was and still is today. It's been sealed off. And when Mr. G was was looking for a place, he wanted something historical through the area that was here himself. So he picked the Weinbrenner house and he bought it because it was for sale. But over where his big sign is out front, there's another tree that's the size of this one. It should be the same age. Well, there was 2 trees over there. One tree now, as you look at his sign, you just see a little tiny tree trunk coming up. That's also a sycamore tree, but a younger one. The third one would have been there. And when he built the building, the tree was dying, so he had it took down. There is a table he has in his front parlor that's made out of that tree, which would be a witness table. And then a lot of the wood was sold in here in some of the shops. Some of the local artists and things have made pens, pencils, little trinkets or whatever. And if you see the term on it, witness wood, would have come from that tree. So that's one of the stories behind that. If you do in any of these shops see something that says witness wood or whatever with it. So let's move on.